ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मुंडकोपनिषद द्वितीय मुंडक द्वितीय खंड. The subject matter being dealt with is the attainment of or the experience of the supreme reality, and guideline is being given with the analogy of the bow and arrow, the arrow hitting and merging into the target. Same way, taking the help of the bow of Omkara, which is in the Upanishad, one has to sharpen oneself through long-term sadhana, upasana, etc. and being single-pointedly intent on attaining the supreme consciousness, that is, reclaiming our identity as the supreme consciousness, one should shoot oneself in that direction and merge with that supreme consciousness. The individual identity merges into the supreme, so the individual doesn't remain. Now, lot of other indicators were also used to point out that supreme reality, and also it was the Guru also wished well to the student that may your journey ahead be successful and may you attain this now here itself. Now here, after this, after we have seen till the eighth mantra, there are three more mantras in this section, and Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji and Gurudev say that this, whatever has been said, because it is not very easy to grasp, to live and to experience. Once again, the scripture or the Guru feels that we need to kind of summarize it, kind of say that again in a different manner. So, to summarize these thoughts, once again, these last three mantras are there. So, we'll read the ninth mantra. हिरण्मये परे कोशे विरजं ब्रह्म निष्कलम् यच्छुभ्रं ज्योतिषां ज्योतिः ज्योतिषां ज्योतिः तद्यदात्मविदो विदुः तद्यदात्मविदो विदुः. That supreme consciousness, where can I get to experience it? All these ideas have been already pointed out. This is again summarizing those points only, using a few other words so that we don't know, some word may ring a bell, something may help us get it, attain it. So here he is saying, where is it available for the experience? Hiranmaye pare koshe. Kosha means like a sword. Sword is kept in a sheath, a scabbard. So it is kosha, it is called. Hindi it is called as jnana. So the sheath in which a sword is kept, like that, the individual also has some sheaths that are covering. What are these sheaths? So in various other Upanishads, it has, this thought has been elaborated, saying the outermost sheath is the food sheath, that is, we are whatever we are eating, the modification of food, which was referred to in one of the previous mantras as Anne. Anne means, we said that it is a modification of the food, that is a gross body. So that is called the food sheath. Then the internal sheaths are the vital air sheaths, prana. Then there is a manomaya kosha, or the mind sheath. Then there is an intellect sheath, that is the vijnanamaya kosha. And the innermost is anandamaya kosha, or the bliss sheath. So all these sheaths are actually covering the self. Now what is this covering the self and all? Just very briefly to understand this concept, that the covering the sheath is not physically covering, although the physical body is physically seems to be covering, but the physical body also cannot cover the self. Like the cloud can never cover the sun, because the cloud itself is seen in the sunlight only. What it is maximum doing is covering our vision of the sun. Similarly, here also the physical body is also not physically covering the self, and all the subtle body aspects and all, the subtler inner sheaths, they are not covering physically the self, that take out 5 layers and then you will find one self inside. It is not like that. The 5 sheaths means what? So the sheath covers in the sense of my identification. When I identify with the body and make statements about myself, for example, I am so many years old. Now this, I am so many years old, the so many years old is belonging to the physical body. It is the Annamaya Kosh. But I am belongs to the consciousness. So what is the statement I make? I am so many years old. I am fat. I am thin. So this adjective that I use all belongs to the physical body, but I have taken it up. The I am consciousness is covered by this so many years old physical weight and height and all these things. It covers it. Similarly, pranamaya kosh. Pranamaya kosh is I am thirsty, I am hungry, because pranas only feel thirsty and hungry. So this thirst, hunger, all these things, they as though cover the consciousness. Therefore, the statements I make is, I am thirsty, I am hungry. So actually, if we separate it, what is it? I am consciousness, and the pranamaya kosh, the vital airs are thirsty and hungry. But now these two have got mixed up. So I am thirsty. They have come together. So this thirsty word is actually belonging to the pranamaya kosha, but it is covering the consciousness. So we never pay attention to the I am part. Why? Because it is covered by thirsty. It is covered by hungry. Similarly, when we go to the mind sheath, mental sheath, then what happens? The I am happy, I am sad, I am angry, I am agitated, I am peaceful. So all these are states of the mind. But that it covers the I am consciousness. Similarly, the intellectual sheath, it also, when we make statements like identified with the intellect, we say, I am understanding. I am not able to follow anything. What is this? Oh, suddenly these five sheets and all has come. I am not following. I am not understanding. That not understanding belongs to the intellect. Or understanding belongs to the intellect. But it has covered the I am. It has covered the consciousness. So that's how it is called sheath. And the bliss sheath, how does bliss sheath cover? The bliss sheath covers the consciousness by saying, I am happy. Oh, I am happy. What's wrong with that? I am happy thought covers the truth that I am happiness. So it covers it. So that is what is called sheath. So all these five sheaths, kosha, here he is saying Hiranmaye koshe. Hiranmaya means golden sheath. What is this golden sheath? This five you enlisted in that, there was no golden sheath. Golden means which has light, which is brilliant. So how can it have light? And where is it? So when we have already seen this concept that there's a bucket of water and the sun gets reflected in the waters, the water seems to be shining. Actually, the water doesn't have any shine of itself. It is the light of the sun. But the water seems to be shining. Because of what? Because the sun is reflected in water. Similarly, in these koshas also, the intellectual sheath and even further, if we look at the bliss sheath, there seems to be that consciousness, the brilliance of the consciousness experienced there. And that is why we say, I am doing this. That I thought is in that subtler sheath, not outside. The I thought resides in the intellectual sheath. And the I thought only wants to go beyond to the bliss sheath and enjoy. I want to go here, I want to eat this. So the desire as such, as a thought, is in the intellectual sheath. But the experiencer of that fruit of action is in the bliss sheath. So it is pare koshe. Pare means that which is more internal, that which is subtler. So this gross body, Annamaya kosha, is not para. It is sthula, it is apara. Still, para means subtler than the gross body is the pranamaya kosha, the manomaya kosha, the vijnanamaya kosha. So the inner sheaths. So here he is saying, where is this self available for experience? The golden inner sheath. Hiranmaye pare koshe. This thought is same as what was said in the previous mantras, that wherever I feel I, that is where, which was said as heart cave earlier, then it was said as heart space, where I is experienced, that same place, the I thought is rising, and the foundation of that I thought is this Supreme Self. And it is available for our experience there. Hiranmaye pare koshe. And how is it? Virajam. It is devoid of any impurity. Virajam. Raja means dust or stain. Virajam, stainless, pure. Brahma, That same reality is called Brahma. Now, this Brahma word has come earlier also. But Brahma also means that which is infinite. That infinite reality, Nishkalam. Nishkalam means partless. When we say this body is also whole. One only, one unit. But it has parts. This is my hand, this is my leg. So I have parts. But here Nishkalam, no parts. So that which is partless, homogeneous, whole, infinite, blemishless, pure, yet Shubhram, because there is no impurity, Virajam, therefore Shubhram. So devoid of impurities means pure. Shubhram means pure. Shubhram. Jyotisham Jyotihi. It is the illumination of all luminaries. It is the light in all luminaries. Jyotisham Jyotihi. What does it mean by illumination in all luminaries? Why do we call anything as a luminary? Because it is illumining something. Now, for something to be called as a luminary, it has to have some light. If that light is removed from it, it can never be called as luminary. So what is that light? Means the very essence of a luminary is light, and from that if light is removed, nothing remains. So that light, because of which a luminary is called so, that light is the self only. Without the self, that light cannot be a luminary at all. In other places, in Bhagavad Gita especially, so many such indicators are given. Like it is the wetness in water. What does wetness in water mean? Means the without wetness, it cannot be called as water. It is a light in the sun. So without light, it cannot be called as sun. There is nothing called a black sun or a dark sun. Sun means it is light. So similarly here, he is saying the light in all luminaries, without which it cannot be called as a luminary. That is the consciousness, the very essence of the luminary. Jyotisham Jyotihi. And it is that tad which yat atmavidaha viduhu. The knower of the self knows it. So what is this atmavidaha viduhu? Of course, knower of the self will know it. It means we may read about it, study about it, think about it, try to comprehend it with the intellect. All this we can try. But one who knows, knows. That is what it is. You know, sometimes we have these optical illusion images. In that, one same image, you can see two different things. If just like that, if we see, there will be like some horses running, and then you see carefully, and then after some time we see carefully, there will be one old woman. Now, how did horses were running? Where did old woman come from? But now, once we see the old woman, it is difficult to see the horses. And then, how much ever you may ask others, you say, look at this, this is the old woman. That person who is seeing the horses will see the horses only. But one who sees the old woman sees it. It is like that. If you get it, you get it. Atoido viduhu. Other places it is said, Yav pashyati sapashyati. The one who sees, sees. That's all. So, a one who knows, and another meaning of Atmavido Viduhu is that one who knows it as one's own self alone knows it. Not knowing it as, I know there is one infinite reality, Brahman, which is there, which is spotless, which is pure, which is the light of all luminaries. I know it very well. Which means it is not known. Because one who knows it as one's own self alone knows it. Atma Vidaha Vidu. And when we say Brahman, Brahman, it is as though infinite, infinite, something far away. And here is saying the one who knows the self knows that infinite reality. So one who knows the self knows the infinite reality means the self is the infinite reality. So the knower of the self knows this infinite. So this Brahma, which has been indicated so far, it is the reality, it is my own self. That is my true identity. So this is all okay, but this light in all luminaries, I am still not getting it. What do you mean by light in all luminaries? And there is a luminary, and then there is light inside that. Do you mean to say the luminary means it is light? It is light, that's why. And then how can you say it is light in the luminary? I am not able to grasp that. So Rishi Angiras already knows that we will find it difficult to grasp. So the next mantra, which is very, very popular, even among the ritualists. Gurudev says that even if we do puja every day, we would know this mantra. And we all know it. So we can all chant this together. Mantra number 10. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वम् तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति. This usually is chanted while doing arati. So when we understand the meaning also, we'll understand why it is chanted during the arati. So let's first look at the words. The tatra, there, where there? There means in that consciousness, na suryah bhati, the sun does not shine. Oh, na chandra tarakam, nor the moon, nor the stars. The sun does not shine, the moon does not shine, stars does not shine. Na ima vidyutah bhanti. Even the lightning does not shine there. Oh, kutah I am Agni, then what to talk of this fire? So, there in the consciousness, sun does not shine, moon does not shine, stars do not shine, lightning does not shine, and what to talk of this little fire? Fire also does not shine. Now, after reading this much, what will one conclude? Knowing Sanskrit and the word meanings, one will conclude, oh, which means that consciousness is pitch dark. There is no light. There is darkness. Oh, very dark. And when I close my eyes also, it is very dark. When I go to sleep, deep sleep, it is very dark. So, experience of consciousness, for that, just go to sleep. This is my philosophy of life. This is our type of conclusion. Because I want to sleep somehow. So Upanishad also tells me that it is completely dark. They are saying, Natatra Suryo Bhati, the sun does not shine there, does not mean that it is dark. Gurudev has given an example. If we take midday summer sun. We go out and strike a match. That fire, will we be able to even see that fire? In the midday summer sun, outside, you go and strike a match. That fire is not going to be visible also. So what do we say? In the midday sun, the matchstick fire does not shine. Does that mean it is dark? It is so bright that all these small luminaries cannot shine in front of them. So natatra suryo bhati, the sun does not shine, means it is so bright that the sun is also it is the source of light, but there is no light. It is all dim in front of this light, the light of consciousness. And if sun does not shine, then what to talk of moon? Moon is already shining with the sun's borrowed light only. How will it? And stars so distant, how will they shine? Lightning, how will it shine? All this, and this fire, in the Aarti also, we are chanting this for that only. We are saying, Oh Lord, you are that where the sun, moon, etc., stars and lightning doesn't shine. And I am trying to see you with this light of this lamp. How I can see you with this lamp? It is not possible. But still, I am trying. But my understanding is, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Everything, anubhati sarvam, everything is shining because of the light of consciousness. Without that, there is no light in anything. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. With that light alone, all this is shining. So everything shines after the consciousness. Practically speaking also, if there is no touch of consciousness, can there be sun? And how will it shine? First thing, we have studied the Upanishad so far. So with that also we know what is the sun. It is a manifestation of that same Brahman. So it is not different from it. Secondly, we also understand that the existence of the sun, even from our experience, if we say, existence and the light of the sun is dependent on my cognition of it. I don't cognize, there is no sun. There is no light. Where is light? If there is, let us say, a tribe, so far it has not been discovered, but maybe in some cave, somewhere in the mountain, some cave, there is a tribe which is living there inside the cave, the depths of the cave, never exposed to sunlight. For them, if we say, no, today is Sunday, let us go out and play. They'll say, what is sun? What is day? And what is out? We don't know. And no concept of light. And for them, they may have the eyes, there will be objects, but they don't have a concept of seeing also. There is no concept of light also, and there is no concept of sun also. They are just living. It is only when one perceives that sun is given existence. In our individual experience, it is like that. So if we understand that, without that consciousness, existence of any of these luminaries is not there. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhati, kutoyam agni. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. The consciousness shines forth, and in that, all this shine after it. Anubhati. Afterwards, they are shining. Once I have recognized, that's when they shine. With that light of consciousness only, all these luminaries are shining in this whole universe. Means all these luminaries are nothing but, it was that Yasya Isha Mahima Bhuvi, Mahima. We saw that all these luminaries, they are all under his control. All that light, he has the main switch. So it is that consciousness which alone has become all these things. All this is just his glory, his manifestation. And if it is his manifestation, it is his light only that is shining there. The cause alone has become the effect. So if the effect is shining, the cause, the light of the cause only is making it shine. Otherwise, how will it shine? Even the example of the sparkler. We have the sparkler, it is lit, there is fire. And then I make shapes out of them. I go round and round, and there is a round image. We say that this is a circle of fire, or it's a bright circle. We see it in the dark on Diwali and all. When we go round and round with the sparkler, what happens? We see that bright circle, luminous circle in the dark. But that circle, the light in that circle, where did it come from? It came from the sparkler. Without the sparkler's light, the circle doesn't exist. The circle shines behind the sparkler. So wherever the sparkler goes, that's where the circle is formed, and that circle is shining, and I am looking at it. Oh, there is a light, the circle of light. It is actually no circle, it is only the sparkler at one point, but it is creating an illusion of a circle. Similarly, this whole universe, all the sun, moon, stars, all these things are all seem to be shining independently, but it is a consciousness that is projecting. There is nothing other than the consciousness. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. If the sparkler that is put out, there is no fire in the sparkler, there is no light in the sparkler. That put out, we keep on rotating, no circle will be there. It is only the light of the sparkler that creates the circle of light. Similarly, it is the light of consciousness that creates the luminaries of the universe like sun, moon and stars. So this is what Jyotisham Jyotihi of the previous mantra is explained here. Now this we understand from the macrocosm level. And when we are using this mantra for worship also, what are we saying? That, oh Lord, it is with your light that all these are shining. And with this light, how can I see you? Because you are the light in this fire. So with this light, I am trying to see you. As far as the idol is concerned, I am able to see with this light of fire. But the real self is that light in fire. So if I can recognize that, that is good enough. So with that attitude, we are doing the Arati, chanting this mantra. And if we bring it to our microcosmic understanding, what is it saying? Natatra Suryo Bhati. Surya, sun, which is light, nothing but light, it is supposed to be the presiding deity of the eyes, of vision. Because without sun or without light, we cannot see. Seeing is possible only because light is there. Where there is no light, we cannot see, no vision. So here, he is saying, Natatra Suryo Bhati means The eyes cannot see without you, and eyes cannot see consciousness. So bringing it to the microcosmic understanding, adhyatmika artha, we say that this eyes cannot see the consciousness, eyes cannot shine. Means eyes cannot illumine the consciousness. Consciousness cannot become the object of perception of the eyes. Cannot see. Natatra Surya Bhati. Na Chandra. Chandra, moon, is the presiding deity of the mind. Manaso Devata Chandramaha. Presiding deity of mind is moon. And it is not something that it is a theory somebody has said and all those things. We are seeing the effect. Whenever we may have heard in the lunatic asylum, etc., when we hear that on the new moon day, on the full moon day, their behavior is very different. Suddenly something will happen because their minds are already weak. And in that, the influence of the moon, it changes. So the mind changes with that also. So Chandra is supposed to be moon is supposed to be the presiding deity of the mind. The mind cannot illumine the self, the consciousness. It can illumine everything else. It cannot illumine the self. Tarakam, Nema, Vidyuto Bhanti. So Tarakam is also like sun only, the stars. Vidyuta is also like a flash of light. Again, it can be categorized as the sun only. But Agni, Kutoyam Agni, fire. Fire is talking about, what is fire? Fire is the presiding deity of the speech. That is why whenever we get warm. Speech is fire. And that is why whenever there is an argument, so it was a heated argument. Where did that heat come from? Fire. A fiery speech. Where did that fire come from? The presiding deity of speech itself is fire. So here he is saying Agni cannot illumine that consciousness. Means the speech cannot describe that consciousness. Now if we look at these three, Surya, Chandra and Agni, Surya is standing for the eyes in the microcosmic understanding. Chandra is standing for mind and Agni is standing for speech. Now, eyes is a representative of all the five sense organs. Speech is a representative of all the five organs of action. And mind is a representative of all thought modifications or the inner instrument, let in mind, intellect, etc. So what it means is, this mantra says that this consciousness, this self cannot be illumined, cannot be an object of any of the sense organs, any of the organs of action, or even thought. It cannot be illumined by thought also. It cannot become the object of thought. But the fact is, it is that because of which the senses can perceive, the organs of action can execute, and the mind, intellect can think. It is that because of which all these things can function. But these instruments cannot illumine that cause of their functioning. That is why it is called light of lights. In Kenopanishad, it is called the ear of the ear, the eye of the eye, the mind of the mind. Means what? It is that because of which the ears are hearing. It It is that because of which the eyes are seeing. It is that because of which the speech is speaking. It is that because of which the mind is thinking. But these instruments can never illumine and objectify that consciousness. It is with the light of the consciousness alone that all these instruments function and illumine the objects of the world. So, what is the proof of this consciousness? If somebody asks, the proof is I can see, I can hear, I can smell, I can think, I can speak. That is a proof. Because without that, this light will not be there. So if there is light here, means the light of consciousness only is expressed in this form. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So having said this, Rishi Angiras now concludes this section and very beautifully. He is either doesn't seem to be giving any instruction or upadesha. Here, the Guru seems to be reveling. After saying all these things, he is just reveling. What is reveling? 11th mantra. Brahmaivedamamritam purastat Brahma paschat Brahma dakshinatas Brahma paschat Brahma dakshinatas chottarena Brahma paschat Brahma dakshinatas chottarena adhaschordhvam cha prasritam Brahma eva adhaschordhvam cha prasritam Brahma eva idam vishvam idam varishtham. He's saying, he's reveling. He's saying, what does this mean? All these mantras that have been pointed out, what do they mean? What is the conclusion of this? And the conclusion is, Brahma eva idam amritam. All this is that immortal Brahma alone. This all is Brahman. What was the question? Kasmin no bhagavo vijñāte sarvam idam vijñātam bhavati. What is that knowing which all this will be known? So he is saying that is Brahman, which itself is all this. Brahma eva idam amritam, immortal. Purastat, and that alone is Purastat, in front. This is the experience of the Rishi. Brahma Purastat, Brahma is in front. Brahma Paschat, Brahma is behind. Brahma Dakshinastha, Brahma is to the right. Cha Uttarena, and also to the left. So Brahma is in front, Brahma is behind, Brahma is to the right, to the left. Adhascha, at bottom, Brahma only. Below. Above, Urdhvamcha, Brahma. So front, back, right, left, below, above, everywhere, Brahma. Urdhvamcha, prasritam Brahma eva. Everywhere spread out, prasritam, spread out, is Brahman alone. That Supreme Consciousness alone is there in front, behind, right, left, below, above, everywhere that alone is spread out. That pervades everything. Idam Vishwam, this entire world of plurality is that one Brahman alone. idam varishtham. This, the whole world, whole universe, multiverses, all this thing is that great Brahman. Whatever we experience as this is also Brahman alone, the self alone. So there is nothing else other than that to be experienced. There is nothing that exists other than that. And this is the experience, direct experience of the Rishi. And he is just reveling in that. And the student is kind of overhearing that reveling. And such words only inspire us also to experience that. That which is in front, behind, above, below, all these things, when we hear, there is always a reference point when we say front, behind. What is that reference point? For us, our identity is the body right now. So, with the reference to body, it is front, behind, right, left, above, below, all these things. Yes. So then all around is Brahman. Then what is this body? That is also that only. Because if something is surrounded by something else all throughout, everywhere, in all directions, means that object also is that only, not different from it. Brahma Purasthat, Brahma Paschat, Brahma Dakshinatah, Cha Uttarena, Adascha, Urdhvam Cha, Prasritam Brahma Eva, Idam Vishwam, Idam Varishtham. The whole universe is that supreme Brahman alone. We'll also sit for some time and try and experience this. Please keep the back, neck and head in one straight line. Sitting in a comfortable position. Let the body be totally relaxed. Let the breathing continue normally. Let us try and focus our attention on the sounds that we hear right now. Focus your attention only on the sounds coming from within the hall. Focus your attention and try and listen to your own heartbeat. We easily feel the heartbeat, but try and listen to the sound of the heartbeat. The mind is wandering, bring it back to the heartbeats and try and listen to the heartbeats. Focus the entire attention in the internal ear where the sounds are reaching. Focus your attention on the hearer, which is subtler than the ear. Who knows the hearer behind the ear? If there is an answer that is a thought, ask the question, who knows this thought? A thoughtless awareness. who knows this thought which is behind the ear, which is behind all sounds. That is me, the Supreme Consciousness. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari